Welcome, viewers. Following up on my last little meltdown video, things are still really bad, but they're not as bad as they were. The oppressive numbness I was feeling isn't there anymore. There's still a fair amount of pain, but it's not as bad as it was. And there's still a fair amount of emptiness, like all of those nerve endings from my genitalia are just gone. And I still feel that in my heart. It's still pretty oppressive. I'll post another little vlog on how I'm doing elsewhere, but for getting better, the new psychiatric med, Cymbalta, is doing better with the pain. There is still some pain though. It doesn't seem to be interacting very well with the gabapentin though, so I took it for a few more days, and then as of yesterday I took it for the last time. Hopefully the last time. We'll see. I've been talking to people. I talked to my sister, talked to my peer recovery specialist. I had a long conversation with a nurse because I reached out to my primary care because I was doing so terribly and things had not gotten any better. And she was telling me to go to the emergency room and was probably going to do a forced induction on me, but I explained to her how that was actually going to be making everything worse, and that she was going to be putting me in jail or evicting me from my house just to make herself feel better. So thankfully that didn't happen. I didn't have to run away. And she convinced me to not do anything more until we have some more time to find a solution. So at least that stopped me from buying a gun. There was, later on that day I called, while I was on the phone with my peer recovery specialist, who was trying to make me feel better, and I made an appointment with my primary care, and I was able to see my regular primary care trans doctor the next day, who he's just back from vacation, and we talked a bunch about where I'd been at in the month and a half or so, or 2 months that I haven't seen him. There wasn't a whole lot he could help me with, honestly, but I don't know. It was good to talk to somebody, but at the same time, it's not giving me any hope. Still, the only thing that has been helping have been the meditations, and when I take myself into the general relativity zone, the quantum field, and I do bring into presence that perfect reproductive system in that new body that I need to heal, then that does make me feel a lot better. It causes a lot of the nerve issues to go away. The pain goes away for at least like an hour after that. And actually I feel I'm in a good mood for a while after that. I feel happy. So I've been doing that a lot. I've been doing that 3 to 5 times a day, and it puts me in a better place. It puts me in a much better place than just focusing on what appears to be my current predicament, or like the past of this maiming by a bad doctor who was overconfident and who should have his medical license taken away. Speaking of which, I got another letter about the complaint. There has been an investigator assigned I won't be able to get very much information about that, so I don't know. And I've also I signed up for a survey with Walter Whitman, who has trans services in the Washington, D.C. area, and because I was so hopeless, they had someone call me, and I've been talking through anything they can do to help me. And basically at this point, I'm trying to find a doctor who can be a second opinion on whether this was malpractice or not. I also talked about that with my Anthem Health Keepers plus mental health case manager, who's been very supportive of me. And it's difficult. Aside from meditation, the only other thing that's made me feel like I want to live is feeling love towards other people. So I've been trying to do that as much as I can. I wish I could see my lovers more than I do. I haven't been able to see them at all for a while. And I also want to, move myself outside of this body as much as possible. When I can do those meditations and move myself outside of this body and totally disassociate from it, that's when I'm at my best. My providers are always asking me how I can make things more safe, and the problem is not where I live. The problem is my body is not safe. I don't feel safe in my body. I don't feel safe in the society either, but at least they are helping me a little bit with that. I don't even feel safe in my job, honestly. It has become apparent from some of the things I've said lately to people I work with that none of the residents at the place I work, they all think I'm cis. They don't know I'm trans, which is kind of weird. I mean, it's kind of nice, but it's kind of isn't. I mean, in some ways that's what I want. I don't want to be trans. Being labeled as trans in this society is a heavy burden to bear, and you will be ostracized for it. So, I mean, I just wish I could be like a regular cis mom and have a bunch of kids and not have to worry about all of this bullshit. I mean, granted, I see the specialness of what it's like to be trans too. I get a perspective that other people don't get. But I also get a lot of oppression that other people don't get. I mean, I even get oppression from my parents because they think this is like something I'm voluntarily choosing to do and not something I'm forced to do because of it's who I am. It's who my body is. It's like getting angry at somebody because they have cancer. I just don't understand it. But that's where I'm at. It's not enough to love somebody. You also have to not judge somebody. You have to let them just do their own life and not judge them for it. They can love me all they want to as long as they do it from afar at this point. Because, I'm not willing to take any more advice on how to not be trans. It's just pointless. They don't understand. I've tried hard to teach them. I'm not gonna do anymore. Which is sad. But, it is my life, and it's their life to choose it that way. So, it's not compatible. It's just not. They don't realize they're being bigots, but they are. and maybe they'll figure it out someday. So I am going to keep talking to people. Hopefully I can feel like I can have sex again someday. It's nice talking to my lovers, but I feel cut off from them. Because my heart's too broken to be sexually intimate with anybody at this point. And I'm trying to use the magic as much as I can to solve it, because it's clear that the medical establishment can't fix this. You know, I can't remember the exact saying, but you have to go to a higher level to fix something you broke at a lower level. You have to bring up the frequency, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make the frequency as high as I possibly can. And in so doing, bring my body into a new place. Because this physicality is all just a hologram, an illusion, transitory. I keep visualizing every molecule in my being dissolving and then reassembling into the way I want it to be, with only my consciousness intact. Just spending my time in consciousness, in the black void of infinite space and time and awareness. So might I suggest you enjoy spending some time outside of this mortal coil and spend some time in time-space, in the infinite, featureless, black void, where only consciousness exists. There's the Joe Dispenza time-space meditation about this. You can look up on YouTube or buy on his website, and I would recommend that. Also, the blessing of the energy centers is very helpful. So with that, you have all my blessings. Live the life you truly want to live. Be blessed. Be at peace. Have all of the best people aside you cheering you on. I love you. Aloha.